Today on Alvarez TV, we are playing baritones, having a jam. Dee's got his tuned quite interestingly and talking about what a baritone is and maybe why you should have one and what it can do for your playing. Join us today on Alvarez TV.
What a sound, man.
Massive.
What a sound.
That's something, I mean, I've played a few of those.
Yeah.
But that's a good one.
I know, it's a good one.
It's just like, I was more listening to that than this. Hi everybody.
Hi.
Baritone day.
They're just great.
You've got that tuned a bit different, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I mess around with this thing all the time because I love it. I watched something on YouTube last night, and I was totally inspired by Paul Davids. I'd gone to see this guy. Yeah. And he was playing, he was a wonderful guitar player. Some of his guitars just had like 3 strings on, all tuned to the same, you know, I forgot the guy's name. Someone will remind me, he's amazing. And I thought, oh, I'll drop the E string down,
which is
a
a
tone,
B.
which is a B, down to A. And I thought, oh, A sounds really good. Then I just thought, right, I just started going crazy with the tuning. So I basically got A, E, A, E, E, A. So it's just fourths.
There's one to try out.
Look at this.
But that other guy, he tunes his kind of, I've got a tuning where I tune everything to E except the B. And you get like this sitar-y kind of, you'd be like...
Yeah, he tuned everything to the same note as well. To the same, yeah, and he was doing crazy stuff, and it sounded absolutely wonderful. It was very inspiring.
More weird tunings.
Yeah, but I think this...
But on that, I think certain tunings open up different guitars, and whatever you found there, that guitar's just like become on steroids.
Something, maybe it's the wood configuration, maybe there's just something about how it's constructed, it just resonates at this frequency, it sounds. But I think, so baritones are generally...
What is a baritone? Let's start there because...
It's a good place to start.
Because we are the baritone brand, I think. One, we have lots of them. We've done them for a long time. And because I think we do good baritones at an affordable price, apart from yours, which is quite expensive, I think we've kind of captured that bit. But why would you buy a baritone? And first of all, what is it?
Well, a baritone sits somewhere between a bass and a standard. So it's like 27-ish. 27 and a bit inches, yeah. Yeah. Where
so
a bass
between
is 34.
a dread and a bass.
Yeah.
In metric, it's 704 mil. Dreadnought's 648. We're talking scale lengths here.
Yeah.
704 mil for this, and I think it's 813 for a bass. So it's kind of in the middle of a dreadnought and a bass, acoustic bass.
And obviously, because of the size of them, they're tuned a fourth lower. So what would be the E string is generally to B. Some people tune them A to A. We tune them B to B. So that's
B, E, A, D, F sharp, B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people just sing lower, you know, and maybe it just works for them. But I think if you're sitting, you've got a dread and a bass and a baritone, you know, they're just humming together in this perfect kind of way. So actually, what's really interesting is if you were to listen to, if you play A on your
D
or your D on your guitar, which is
so like as an accompaniment instrument,
yeah,
and also for your voice, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like,
yes.
Well, baritone is the male pitch for most of us, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I believe.
From the Greek. Baritonos.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So there's like a baritone sits in between a bass and a soprano, is it? Or
alto.
Bass and alto.
Alto.
Yes.
You would consider that to be alto, wouldn't you? Probably.
Yeah. So it sits right in the middle, does suit that sort of vocal accompaniment, but also is like, I mean, really, if you had a bass, a baritone, and a normal guitar, probably as a three-piece kind of like acoustic trio, it's probably really, really full, isn't it? Like you've got all the frequencies going.
I find them very, very inspiring. And I had said this earlier.
Drift away with them a bit more.
Well, I'd said earlier about that. I'd recently got an upright piano, and there's something about. I mean, as you know, we record all the time, don't we? And we use samples and stuff. But there's something about sitting in front of a piece of wood and the strings resonating and the box resonating and everything. And I feel like this. We call dreadnoughts like pianos, but there's something about this which gives that sort of. For me, it's very evocative of that time, of that sound.
See, probably just because there's more vibration going on anyway. So basically, you play them like an same way as you play a normal guitar, same fretting, same chord shapes, everything else, fourth down. They're longer strings. They are thicker strings, so it will build your calluses up nicely on the ends of your fingers.
Yeah.
Right? After you play these for a while, you do sort of get in lines in there, but you know. You get used to that. To drive the bracing, because of the scale length is longer, there's more tension in these, so these guitars are braced heavier. And to drive all this, we use jumbo body shapes. So there's lots of air volume going on. It's a heavier bracing to make sure the top.
I was going to ask, so it's a jumbo shape. For some reason, I thought it was like an acoustic bass shape, but it's smaller than the acoustic bass, right?
So our shape is different to a Yairi shape. So this is our jumbo shape. That one's slightly different, and just from molds. But we've done something a little bit smaller than that actually, but still our jumbo shape. It's bigger than a grand auditorium, obviously. In Yairi, you're right. We do use a standard bridge.
Standard bridge.
I'm not quite sure of that decision-making process because that's been on there before. I was certainly with the brand. But I would imagine because of the amount of tension and to drive that top, probably safer to go with a standard bridge rather than a direct coupled bridge and sticking those pins in the top with that much tension. So it's a kind of a normal guitar, it just sounds lower. It's got thicker strings. You play it as normal, and it's pitched between a dread and a bass, and have fun with it. Sing along with it.
They're great.
You know, do acoustic duos with them.
Yeah, and of course we do the 8-string. Version of the Bari as well.
We do an 8-string version of the Bari. So we do 2 8-string versions. We've got a standard baritone, acoustic. We've got one with a pickup. We've got this shadow burst with a cutaway with a pickup. We've got 2 8-strings. And the 8 strings are brilliant because it sounds like an octave pedal going on, doesn't it? Like you've got this real kind of difference there. Yeah. Certainly if you're very good at kind of like that sort of percussive fingerstyle.
I've seen a couple of people.
Getting that sort of octave thing going on. And then we do an Artist Elite, which has got a bevel. And that's rosewood. If you go to alvarezguitars.com, go to our compare tool, you can pick all of the baritones in there. You can just set them in there and you can compare the sound.
And the link is down below in the description.
Down there?
Just
on the carpet.
Just there.
But have a listen. And I think, if you're looking for a little journey somewhere in your acoustic world, I would certainly recommend these.
Great fun. I know
And play around the tuning like you did.
Oh, yeah, man.
Just like find that inner frequency.
It's just that resonance, that sort of the interplay between those, especially when the fourths for some reason works beautifully.
Yeah. No, it sounded great, massive. But if you check them out, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. If you want to watch more videos like this one, click the video on the screen now.